Hello, everyone. Thanks for pulling up to Whitney's Get to Know You video. We're excited for you to hear more from her and about her, and then be able to have some questions answered and maybe reach out at the end. I'm Stephanie Corporal, the owner of Marble Wellness, a multi specialty mental health practice in the Ballwin and Lake St. Louis area. We see kids ages 3 and up, moms, couples, teens, college age kids, basically one stop therapy shopping for the whole family. And today we are here with one of our very skilled therapists, Whitney. Hello, Whitney. Thanks for joining.
Hello.
And we're just going to go ahead and dive right in. So, Whitney, how about you go ahead and tell me and our listeners of this video what brought you to the therapy field? What drew you to this profession?
Well, therapy is actually my second or arguably third career. I was a biology major in college, and I liked at the time in my life, I liked the black and white, the pretty clear answers, the lack of the gray area.
Uh-huh.
And I did worked in medical laboratory work for a period of
Okay.
time after I graduated, put my husband through graduate school. It worked really well. And then when our kiddo was born, I stayed home and volunteered in the elementary school down the road. And that made me more aware of the role that folks with therapy, with degrees that
Uh-huh.
can later become therapists, have in the schools, and just the difference that therapy can make in kids' lives. And so that was what led me to go back to school to get a master's degree in social work and then eventually get licensure. And that was in the end what brought, I worked for a little while in as a therapist based in schools. But then when my kiddo went off to college, I decided to try something new, and that brought me to Marble Wellness.
Wonderful. We love it. We love having you. Tell us who you work with. What types of presenting problems or age demographic? Who sits across from you in your office?
I have two different populations that I really love to work with. One is drawing from my history in schools. I love working with school age children and teenagers. I would say my favorite ages are probably 7 and 8 on up through high school. I especially love the middle school group, and I don't know what it is about middle schoolers.
They
They
deserve some love.
Yeah, they do. They make me laugh. I love watching the self-discovery process. And
I do too. I think sixth, seventh, and eighth graders are just cool kids.
yeah,
And particularly in the therapy room, it is really cool to just watch their personalities come out more and more. And I find it really fun too. I haven't worked with a middle schooler in a long time, but there's something magical about them in therapy.
agreed. Agreed. Especially when they realize why they're there and they're bought into the process. They can be very much very authentic and very
Yes.
sweet.
Yes, yes. Okay, and then that other population that you
Other
work with.
population is adult women, largely moms, though I love to work with women, I would say of all ages. I love working with new moms or pregnant women going through, we all know that there are challenges there, whether it's peripartum anxiety or depression or just managing the juggling
Yes.
act. But then I also like working with women in a stage of life closer to my own, maybe parenting or empty nest phase or menopause or
Yeah.
perimenopausal struggles. I've been through all of it, so I can bring not only my own experiences, but I've studied all of these stages of life as well, and it's really fun to be there, walk through those stages with
Yeah.
clients. I
Very
also
cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
I also recently started a little bit of a specialty in chronic illness and health conditions. And so I have a subset of clients that I work with who have challenges related to chronic health conditions, and it's been an honor to work with them and kind of walk them through the mental health challenges that accompany chronic illness and just the frustrations associated with treatments and just all of the challenges that are
Yeah, in their own bodies and other people misunderstanding it, and
absolutely.
the psychological impacts of those chronic illness diagnoses are so significant. And I'm glad it's finally getting a little bit more conversation. There's a lot more to go, but I'm glad people are realizing that therapy is a very appropriate piece of a treatment component when there is that physical health diagnosis.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Completely agree. It
Yeah. Very
reaches,
cool. Love
yes.
hearing about those specialties. Now tell me what it's like for people to sit across from you. How do you partner with people in session? What does a session with you look like? And I understand there might obviously be a divide here too with the kiddos and the adults.
Yes, very much a divide. With adults, I pretty much stay in my chair for starters.
Okay. That's a good differential.
With kiddos, I will not so much get down on the floor, but get down at my table. I like to do a lot with younger kids. I like to do a lot of art and craft activities with a therapeutic spin to it. I love to be super active in sessions. Kids might not even realize that they're in therapy, but we're working on stress tolerance, frustration tolerance, coping skills when something goes wrong. You're remembering to take that deep breath. With adults, I'm pretty chill. I like to listen. I like to listen. I like to think of myself as somebody who listens and asks good questions.
Very
Uh,
powerful, very powerful tools.
exactly, exactly. I like to kind of guide the client in identifying, coming to their own conclusions about what the challenge is and what might have helped them in the past. And do you think maybe you could, have you ever tried this? Is it something that you think could work for you?
Yep. So some deep reflection and connecting the dots sounds like what kind of gets produced from that listening and good question asking.
Exactly, precisely.
Love it. Okay, outside of the professional hat Q&A, what's just a quick fun fact or something surprising that people might not guess about you, but that you can share with our audience?
Okay. Well, I'm generally a pretty calm, regulated, just pretty chill person. So I learned something interesting about my family recently from a cousin who's gotten very much into genealogy.
Oh, that's a cool
I am
deep diving.
related to a woman who lived in Salem, Massachusetts at the time of the witch trials and was tried 3 times for witchcraft and never found guilty. So I don't know. Like to think there may be some interesting powers in my background. I don't know.
That is a very fun fact. I love that one.
I like that too. It's just interesting to think
Uh-huh.
about.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, that's a great note to end on. Thank you
Not
for sharing that.
not saying that affects my practice, but I like to
Yeah.
think about how it would, maybe how it affects my family.
Yeah. No, that's very cool. Thank you so much for spending the time with me today and with, anybody who's listening, obviously, throughout the time that they click on our website. And if this all sounds good to you guys and you're interested in working with Whitney or you really want to learn more about our practice, feel free to keep poking around our website or just go ahead and give us a call. We can be reached at 636-234-3052, or you can email us at hello@marblewellness.com and we're ready to get started. Thanks again so much, Whitney. It was good to see you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Bye bye.